Good morning, Leslie Swedish with Moxxi Coffee, and today I am joined by Becky Dawes. Becky has been nominated as a Fearless Female by Jolie Hicks, who was a Fearless Female that we interviewed several months ago, Hicks Strong. Check out her story, it's still up on our blog page. Thank you for joining us, Becky.
Thanks for having me.
How are you today?
Relaxed.
Relaxed?
Yeah.
That's good.
Good.
Did you have some of the relaxed coffee?
Yes, I'm still sipping. It's delicious.
Fantastic. So, tell me a little bit about what you do.
A little bit. So where do I begin? Personally or professionally?
Let's start with professionally.
Okay. So professionally, I am a third generation owner of a septic and excavation company. And my husband's grandfather started the business. And we took over almost 20 years ago, and we have grown substantially.
Nice.
We have just under 20 employees, and we've grown into other works, but still maintain our specialty, so which is wastewater disposal systems. So we do some designing, installations, repairs, and maintenance. So it's definitely keeps us busy.
And what's your role within that?
Well, we're certainly a partnership. Role, my goodness.
Are you pumping septics?
Oh, no,
I
am not.
phones?
Yeah, no, thank you for clarifying that, because there's many hats. So
Yeah.
more along the lines of administrative, HR, coach and leadership, everything, the back office.
Okay.
I'm in the field occasionally, but that's really only to meet clients or to, be on site for whatever reason it's necessary. So.
Would you believe I've actually helped install a couple of septic
Ah,
systems?
there you go.
I know a little bit about it. My ex does excavating, and we put in a couple of septic systems.
Yeah, it's not common to have a woman in that industry, so.
No,
it's,
I ran the beep 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 thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called, but I did the beep 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 thing.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, I think it's important for everyone to get a taste of the work, right? Because we have a great customer care team, but they've also been on field trips, so they get a little bit of, insight as to what happens in the field, because that'll only better help them take care of our client on the phone, right?
Oh, yeah.
Which with whatever service they're calling about. Education's huge with us. We really take the time to explain what they have, how it's working, and how to maintain it, because it's an investment, right?
Yeah, and I mean, you have a lot of people that, if they've never experienced, homeowners, if they've never had a septic system, they were
Yeah.
always on sewer, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden they move out to the
Flush it
country.
and forget it.
They
Not anymore.
no idea.
No, I always say the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
It's all coming out in the end, and you need to know how to manage it.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. Well, wonderful. Yeah, I mean, what kind of reactions do you get from people being that, there is not a lot of women in this industry when, do you have people that don't think that you understand what you're doing?
Yeah, often.
Yeah.
And my operations coordinator is a woman, and she's very strong, and I think that she really provides a great presentation of us as well, because when we get calls, well, can I speak to a technician, or can I speak to your husband, right? So
don't you love that?
I do, in a sense, to where I respect and value my husband, but I also, I have a lot to offer as well.
Yeah.
And I think that being so close in business together, we're family bred, right? We're born and bred from this. Even though I didn't, I wasn't bred from it, I chose to, make the decision to build this with him, and we're doing this together. But, I kind of know a thing or two about, what, so.
I would say after 20 years, you probably pick up a thing or two.
Yeah, and, why not build that? I love to build rapport with our clients, that it's relationship building, and I want them to be confident in me as well. I'm here for them, So people don't think about that when you're dealing with septics, right? I'm going to have a relationship with my septic company. It sounds kind of,
Yeah.
But the nurturing aspect that we provide, I think that they realize that, I just had a client call me last week. there's a reason I call you, because you talk to me like you're, like we're family, and you're giving it to me real.
Yeah.
We're real people, real talk. That's, yeah.
And I mean, realistically, there's maintenance that needs to be done constantly
Yeah.
on a septic system. It's not really just flush it and forget it.
No, but it's not often. It's only every few years.
Yeah.
So, but their dollar's going a long way.
Mm-hmm.
We do a lot for our employees. They get, education, training. We want to pay them well. We want to make sure that their needs are met also. So, hopefully the clients know they're getting a quality service.
Are you having difficulty with employees right
No.
now? No? That's awesome.
No, we are.
So many of the people in the world right now are having such a hard time.
I know, and it's especially being a small family business. I have friends in business, and it devastates me knowing that they're going through, potential closures and things like that. Our business is, everyone kind of needs to flush a toilet, right? So it's a little bit different. But no, we have a dynamic team.
That's
and
amazing.
I am so fortunate that we've hired a few more this year. It's hard to find the right fit though. We're not the right fit for everyone.
No, I can't imagine. I'm sure with all that you give, there's also a certain expectation of performance, and it's very much a give and take in that good balance.
Well, that's just it. But it's also personality is huge.
Yes.
We have to work together as a team. We have set a solid foundation that everyone needs to meet, and if you don't meet that, it's not going to benefit either one of us. It's got to be a good fit for both of us.
So you say it's a family business. Do you have children?
Yes.
Are they old enough to work with you?
Yes, they have been working ever since they were capable. So whether it's filing or shredding or stuffing envelopes, putting stamps, we still mail out reminders. We're not up to date with the times yet, but absolutely they're involved. They're involved in every aspect, whether it's, the community works or the business, they're right into it.
You said community works. Can we talk about that for a minute?
Sure. So, our family has been involved in Rotary International since our club was formed in '91. So we have some charter members and founding honorary members in our family. And I actually didn't start Rotary until I came on board, and my father-in-law was very involved in it, and I was kind of behind the scenes working with him, and it really struck me as something that I wanted to do and be a part of it. I was kind of doing like my own things on the side, but Rotary gives you like a really great avenue to do more. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of like another option for me to reach more, right? So, I would do little things here and there on my own, but then getting involved with Rotary, it gave a whole nother aspect. So we do the business as a whole. So everyone contributes, even the employees.
Oh, nice.
They're not technically members, but they're volunteers, and through the business, we all work together to meet, needs that come up in the community.
Can you, oh no, in there we go, here I am. Can you explain, because I know that I had heard of Rotary, but I never really understood what it's for, just like a general purpose of what a Rotary Club is?
So Rotary International is your top, foundation, organization, and then every area has their own club. And as a Rotarian, you're a Rotarian of Rotary International, but you're a part of a club. And that club consists of your president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, the whole nine. And then you just do good work. I mean, it's literally have fun and do whatever comes up that the needs need to be met. So whether it's a fundraiser for a family that, went through a devastation, or a school that the children need coats, or reading glasses, or whatever that's needed. You just do it.
I think I had my first experience with a Rotary Club last night, a brief experience, and I really left that feeling like it's unfortunate that there isn't more knowledge out there. Is it something like I know Freemasons are a little bit more secretive and things like that. They're not really out there to talk much. Is the Rotary like that? Is it a little bit more, or
do you think that there's really out there? Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate you're not seeing that exposure, but I feel like, maybe it's because I'm in it, maybe I see it more.
Yeah.
But I feel like Rotary is out there everywhere you go. I mean, even as a Rotarian, if I'm up here, I can go to your local club, and I would expect to be welcome, just like I'm welcome to any other club. And that's the beauty of it, is that you can really go wherever you want to go. And it's not, I don't want it to be confused with like a Chamber of Commerce type situation. This is more like, of course, you know, working with Rotarians, you want to network, right? And you want to work together. But I feel if you're looking to get more business, that's not the organization for you.
No.
It's really where, if you want to do community efforts and works, that's where you need to be if you're not doing it on your own.
Well, they have a four-way check?
Four-way test.
A four-way test.
Yeah. So is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned?
I saw that for the first time last night. I really loved it, and it actually reminded me of some of the things that you see circulating around social media as to whether or not you should be reposting this. So I thought that was fantastic. What other kind of community works do you do? I feel like I heard about some things outside of the Rotary that might be a little bit more personal interest.
Yes. So women and children are my heart. I took to a domestic violence shelter. This is probably going to be my 10th year working with them. And I just felt like I needed to be there for them. Even though I can't see them, and I can't meet them, and I can't be there for them, I felt like there was another way that I could do something. So whether it started off really as like just getting them things for Christmas, one year we did lip balms from another local women-owned business, actually. I try to choose as local as possible. And on the label, we put "Hope anchors the soul." And I just feel like them reading that might give them a little bit of, empowerment to just keep going. I think as a woman alone, but as a mother, when you're faced in a situation that's so difficult, it's hard to try to navigate, not only for yourself, but for your children, right? So I just felt like any type of just anything, that could help them just get through that moment, even if it wasn't through the day, just that moment.
Absolutely.
Would be helpful. So I kind of go overboard. I don't really have a limit because I just want to make sure they have everything they need. So whether it be comfy socks or even clean underwear, literally anything. And then we just started, this is our 8th year, we do a blanket making benefit. So growing up, I come from a very blended family, very blended. And my stepmother would make blankets for the family, and she would use the fleece and then cut the sides of the fleece and tie them together. So I was thinking that would be such a great gift for them. It's easy because I'm not, it's
you don't
something,
have to sew.
right, you just put it together.
Yeah.
So we just made a few and we gave it to them, and my rep I have a rep that I work with, like a shelter outreach, and she just was floored. I'm like, all right, so we'll do it again, Well, now we're in our 8th year, and we've done over 103 blankets.
Oh, nice. Just
over. We're 103, I think is my goal to beat this year. So it literally grew out of control. First of all, I have an amazing network of women that whatever it is, we just get together and just make it happen. So, and my office team, because they're the ones that have to deal with walking around boxes and bags and stuff that get delivered at the office. So my office is really like a drop location, we call it. So people can drop things off that are needs. I'll put calls to actions out on the Facebook, and then they'll drop off if they have it. I'm not asking for people to buy it, but you go through your closets, whatever you want to get rid of, things like that, right? Very simple. And then I do drops every week that I have stuff. But the blankets have certainly been a huge hit, and now it's an event. It's a big to-do, and I have sponsors and obviously our incredible team of volunteers, and I'm working closely with Nancy, who is my stepmother, and we are building that relationship together for this purpose as well, and it's been great. It's been a great run so far.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, you and I had discussed a little bit before we jumped on this live stream that, you know, there isn't a whole lot of domestic violence awareness out there, short of maybe seeing a poster in a doctor's office. You know, there really isn't a whole lot of knowledge about it. So do you have any advice for people that are looking to find a local domestic violence shelter? Like, where would you start?
Well, because of my involvement, I have gotten many inquiries from women, including friends of women, on what to do. I did not ask to be in that position, and I didn't even think that that was going to happen. However, because of my relationship with the shelter, I've been able to guide them. So there's hotlines available, you know, everything is confidential, 24-hour hotlines. It's really the best way to go, because once you call, at least from my experience with these, you know, women, that they would call and then they would get the help that they need. Other than that, it's difficult. You know, going to safe homes, they have to be undisclosed locations depending on the severity of the situation. They may start one location and then move to the next, right? So
yeah, I think some of the things that a lot of the, you know, maybe the general public doesn't understand is women in these situations can often lose everything. You know,
Everything.
Absolutely everything. Their friends, their family, their lives, their livelihoods, their clothing, their everything. So what are some of the things that you find are the most sought after or most appreciated at these shelters?
So I know it may sound simple, but the toiletries and undergarments, those are very important. You know, having those basics. I always like to also do things that might, that they can hold on to for hope. So maybe things with affirmations, a journal, things like that. So not just personal items, but items, you know, for their own bodies, but, you know, I mean, even a face mask.
Yeah.
You know, something for self-care, right?
Yeah.
So those types of things, you know, and those are very simple. You could just slip right into, you know, a little sachet or something. I mean, we've done so much. I've had another local women-owned business, Lily Ray in the Hamlet. She made all kinds of lotions and stuff, you know, in a basket for them one year. And we always try to be specific to them, you know, that way they have something for themselves. And then, of course, we'll take care of the kids. So.
Yeah. Yeah, that's nice. How did you, how did this start?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. We just started doing stuff, and it just happened, you know? I mean, this has been going on for a very long time. I mean, we've literally been doing this for, it's been 10 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
That is a very long time.
So within that time, you know, it's been a close-knit of friends, the network that I have, which I can't tell you how grateful I am to have them. You know, like, we're meeting in a couple weeks, and I just can't wait to see them and be with them and just get this done. Like, it's a team effort. Everyone's contributing. You know, it's not just me. It's everyone is contributing. They're tying, they're cutting, they're bringing food, they're even giving monetary donations because they know that this is important and they trust that mission, you know? So it's everyone doing this. But it's also, you know, the networking aspect. So if I hear that there's a local family in need, even domestic, violence related, you know, if there's a need, somehow I get word and we work together to make sure that need is met. So,
how large would you say your network is?
Oh gosh. I would say for our benefit alone, we have about 30 to 40 women. We have one man. And I'm not going to discredit my husband. he supports me so much. He'll say, really, you know, like, we're doing this again, and I'm like, yes, it needs to happen. So, but there's one friend of mine, Nick, who comes. He was a fellow Rotarian as well, but he comes to hang out and tie some blankets too. But that's, you know, but I mean, it's big. I think it's, you know, it's not hundreds, but it's a very like close knit group. I have Rotarians, I have family, I have friends, I have employees. You know, we all just work together to get it done. You know,
That's amazing.
yeah,
I love that.
yeah, it's awesome.
So I think that Jolie mentioned that you sit on or have sit on boards for
gosh.
other.
Yeah, I'm one of those where I don't think I can say no. So I was secretary for many years for our Rotary Club, and I serve on the board for our local cemetery. And that one kind of, well, Rotary of course is my heart, but the cemetery, my mom's buried there, maybe that's my connection. But I felt like our little town, you know, needed some, you know, our little cemetery in our little town needed a little oomph, you know?
Someone who cared.
Well, not that our board doesn't care. I just feel like, so for example, I work to get, you know, Wreaths Across America?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we always donated to it as a business, you know, personally. And I thought, like, our little cemetery could use that too, you know? Like, why not? Let's try that. So filed paperwork, and we got approved as a location, and once again, our community stepped up and we got all 120 wreaths sponsored, you know? And it was just, again, networking and getting the word out that, you know, we need to do this for our veterans, you know? It's just somebody just needs to take that one step just to do it, and it just gets done. You know, people want these things done.
Yeah.
I think it just takes someone to just get it done, you know, start it.
Yeah,
right?
Figure out that first step.
All I did was I just requested it happened. Like, this is what I'm saying, it just happens, you know?
Yeah.
I really don't have, it is work, but it's not work,
Yeah.
you know?
Labor of love.
Yeah. All intertwined in my work.
Well, I'm a big believer of that, you know, what you put out there comes back to you also. So, you know, there's abundance in giving. And, you know, what I do with the foundation is, for me, more fulfilling than, you know,
Yeah.
coffee. I love coffee.
Well, I love
Don't get me wrong. I love my coffee.
I love coffee too.
But I
completely agree with you.
Yeah.
And I'm blessed beyond any, and you know, it's not, there's no money that could ever match that either. It's blessings with my family, my work family, my friends, you know, my network of people, the community, I mean, and our customers. You know, this is our 69th year in business.
Wow.
So, you know, we're not just serving our customers, we're serving our community, right? So their dollar is going a long way. I mean, we feel incredibly grateful to be able to support so many community works, but we really wouldn't be able to do a lot of that if it wasn't for our customers, right?
Yeah.
Because this stuff does take money, right?
Yeah.
So it's just a natural, it comes in and it goes right back out.
Isn't it amazing that your business can support your passions as well as your family?
So grateful.
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So are your children all grown, or do you still have some littles?
Yeah, I have, well, they're little to me. I think they'll always be little.
I know.
Yeah. 12 and 8, well, 12 and 9, who just turned 9. Yeah.
And I heard that you homeschooled. Do you still?
Yeah, no, we homeschooled for a little bit. My littlest has some behavioral challenges, and he's a very strong cookie, so we felt it was necessary to take a break and to homeschool for a while, which was probably the hardest job I'd ever had to do.
I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, just the you know, little bit of COVID remote learning was
Oh,
tough.
yeah. Well, we were doing it before that.
Yeah.
So it really didn't, COVID, the pandemic didn't change anything for us. We were really doing that anyway. But once again, my team, they, my staff, my team, they understand, that as a family business, if things happen, that we just have to make it work, and we made it work. I have other team members that have children, we made it work, we just worked together to make it work, you know? But it definitely was not easy, and I'm so grateful that he's finally where he needs to be, and he's getting a nurturing, supportive environment where I know for no matter what, he's going to be taken care of, and he's getting what he needs. So that is like the ultimate.
It truly takes a village.
Oh my gosh, doesn't it?
Yes.
It so does.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's awesome that you have that village. I think there's a lot of people out there that, it can be difficult to find supportive relationships. So.
Yeah, but the idea is to empower, right? So it's a trickle effect. I might sit in this position and, people might think that I have it all, or that, I'm not struggling, but I'm struggling too, right? It's, this is hard. Life is hard. Relationships are hard. Business is hard. Mothering, parenting, the whole nine. It's hard.
Yeah.
And, it's not like I just have my best core friends, I have a network of people that I know have my back. And why can't someone else have that too? That needs to trickle where one person grasps that concept, and then they feel that they could do it again. And then that person grasps it, right? And they feel they could do it again. It's domino, right?
Yeah. One of the sayings that I use for the foundation is we lift as we rise. It's instead of just making your own climb up, turning around and bringing that next person along with you. Because then, like you said, that person is hopefully going to turn around and bring the next person up. And, I think it's essential, because putting your head down and, blocking off the rest of the world just doesn't really do anything for anybody.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy to hear, more and more people are adopting this type of mentality. It feels like it was gone for a little while. So I think it's making a comeback.
I would like
especially among women.
Yes, I would like to think that. Unfortunately, over the past year, and our team, our customer care team, we've discussed this. Something's changing. Like, our customers are not, some of our customers are changing, where the people that are inquiring with us they're not happy. You can tell that something is not right. You just feel it, right?
It's gotten aggressive. I feel like customers are turning on small businesses and becoming very aggressive.
Yeah, and we're here just to help.
Yeah.
There's no hidden agenda. Listen, we're not salespeople by any means. I didn't even go to business school, and I'm running a multi-million-dollar company.
Mm-hmm.
How is that possible, right? I'm a human.
Yeah.
I love my community. I love people. I want the best for people, and that really is where the core values come from in delivery of service. So, it's challenging trying to work with someone that is so guarded up and feel like we're going to take advantage of them, and like we might be ripping them off, or they don't trust us completely, and then you said this and now it's that, or they'll demand, and they'll say, no, I'm going to do this and not that. It's just such a different delivery. The exchange is hard, and not, and that's not with every call, but it is a lot, enough to where it's now triggering things for us that we have to recognize we have to change. Or do we have to change? I don't know. But the last thing I want is my team getting off that phone being frustrated and upset. Because we love our job, we love what we do, And I don't want them going home stressing about this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's becoming very, very difficult, and I feel like it stems from a world of Yelp reviews and Google reviews and all of that, where it was almost a forum for airing, you know, disputes, and we had such a, you know, there's like a misinterpretation of the customer is always right, you know, so, you know, I've had to stop a couple of people and just say, you know, it's not okay to speak to me this way, you know.
Yeah.
I'm a small business. I will fix anything that I possibly can, but you don't get to address me in this way, you know. So it's unfortunate.
Yeah, we've had to streamline our response to that. You know, we're not the best fit for everyone, and you know, we just expressed that it doesn't sound like we're a good resource for you.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets a little elevated, and I would need, but it's not just about business and customer. This is called building relationship. And at the end of the day, we're both human, and we need to speak to each other with respect, right?
Yes.
So regardless if you're a business or a customer, it's human relations. And that, I think, is lost in certain aspects. You know, I'm just looking to, you know, support, you know, the service that needs to happen, and our families and our employees' families, and that's what business kind of is, right? It's a revolving, right?
Yep.
You know, I'm a little concerned about what we're seeing out there right now.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I'm not glad to hear that other people are experiencing this, but I guess I'm glad to know.
yeah, you're not alone.
We're not alone over here.
Yeah. But then it comes with now, you know, that's another aspect of coaching. I need to provide my team, right? So we're constantly changing, we're constantly growing, constantly trying to work to meet the needs of the business. And some of those needs are working with, you know, people that have, you know, some struggles that they're going through. You know, it's not easy when, can I speak freely?
Absolutely.
When you have shit all over your basement, you have your baby crying, and you are helpless.
Yeah.
We understand that your emergency is our emergency. Like, we want to help you. Allow us to do that, right? Just don't vomit all over us. Just give us that time to help you. We know what you're going through. You called us for a reason. Allow us to handle it for you, right? There should be ease with that.
Yeah.
But there's not.
No.
It's tough. And that shows a lot about the self-care that people really need in their own lives in order to work with people that are really just trying to help them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think it also stems from a lot of the instant gratification of society, and you know what the world looks like now. And
yeah, well, when you provide a service, it's difficult, right?
Yes.
Like there's like everyone, not everyone, but you're not alone. There's a lot of community members that are going through the same problem, and we're only a few people.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we want to help you, and we will, but it won't be right now. You know, it might be tomorrow, or it might be a year from now. You know, I mean, we joke about it, and it's nothing to joke about, but our wait list has a wait list. That's how difficult it is right now.
Well, I think that, you know, are you seeing that, not that it's never going to be a dying industry, but there's been such a push towards more academia and less you know, labor type jobs.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can't find a mason to save your life. Electricians are getting harder. Is it the same thing in your industry?
So yeah, because there's no schooling, right? A lot of the trades, that's where we're going with. Yeah. So we grow from within. It's very difficult to find someone that has our experience. That's why it's difficult to hire right off the bat, because we need that skilled person now. And it's difficult to find that. But also we're up against union, and we're not union. You know, we're still considered small mom and pop, which is a little bit challenging. But I can tell you that with the right person, if they're open-minded and eager to learn and understanding that they're part of something bigger with us, which we have, like I said, we hired 3 people this year that they're like great fits, you know what I mean? So it's been a great opportunity for the right people, you know? But there are difficult positions that need to be filled that just can't because the skills aren't there.
Well, I mean, I can't imagine it's like really easy to get people that want to
Nobody
work
wants
with
to play
shit.
with poop. No. As fun as I make poop, I mean,
Yeah.
no, it's tough. It's tough because it smells, it's dirty,
Yeah.
and actually grease is worse.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Oh,
grease
like
is
the
worse.
grease traps? I
Yeah.
have heard that.
Yeah,
I have
it's
heard
worse.
that. Do you call it the honey wagon?
We have in the past, but yeah. It's it's like they say, it's a dirty job if somebody has to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there isn't a lot of interest with that. But like I said, a lot of our employees are homegrown within. It's the Dawes way.
Yeah.
It's just that's how it is.
Julie was right. You are very humble.
Uh,
So is there anything that we missed? Are there other endeavors that you're involved in? I mean, it sounds like you've got your hands quite full. I absolutely love what you're doing. I think that domestic violence specifically needs to have a little bit more light shined on it. I mean, during COVID, there were a couple of media reports of there being an uptick in domestic violence, but there wasn't an outpouring of assistance that came out of that. And also, I know that October is Domestic Awareness Month. Is there anything that you do specifically for that month, or?
Not in October, no.
Yeah.
Our annual benefit for them is in December, so it just ended up falling the first weekend, in December. So.
Well, thank you very much for meeting with us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
it was great to meet you.
You as well. I think what you're doing is absolutely fabulous. I know that you mentioned that you did not file for the official 501 nonprofit status, and that you are just doing this to do it.
Yes. Yeah, it needs to get done. Yeah. So, we have sponsors that trust this mission and trust me and my approach, and I am so grateful for that. I take that very seriously. They know where it's going, and, they might not need a copy of, a write-off, receipt to prove that, but I take that very seriously. I know that they know how important it is. And of course, our customers support that effort through the business, and we have sponsors and then the volunteers. So even, the younger, so we did little goodie bags for every holiday we do also for them. So like Halloween, we did goodie bags, and we had some high school students and, Girl Scout troops, and they all came and, stuffed the goodie bags as well, right? So it's not just. And again, that's the networking aspect. They see that it needs to get done. They took the initiative to contact me because they knew it needed to be done. That's where the team effort comes into play. I'm thinking, I'm going to have the kids stuff these bags. Employees are stuffing bags, right? So then they reach out and they want to stuff them. I'm like, oh, thank you. The work gets done. They get to take part in it. They understand why they're doing it, why it needs to be done, right? And it's full circle.
And so you said that also you don't meet these women that you're, working for.
No. Yeah. I think what drives me, I don't need to meet them to see what happens. Yeah. I don't need to meet them. Yeah. For some reason, I just know that when they receive it, I just know. Yeah. I mean, the kids' faces. I mean, we give out these little poop squishies, and I should have brought you one. I'll have to mail you one. The look on those kids' faces. I know it's poop, right? Oh, well, poop is a whole emoji now. I mean, seriously. We have a poop mascot, too. We call him Poop Dude. But even the look on the kids' faces, they just get so excited. It totally made their day. Yeah. I was a victim of domestic violence many years ago, and it is a very scary, lonely, dark place to be. So had anyone at that point in time, if I had, woken up one morning to a lip balm that told me to hold on to hope, it would have been
a very, very bright note in a very, very dark time. So I'm sure you've touched many, many, many lives, and more power to you. It's amazing. So we're going to end this with you don't really have an organization. Is there some way, some place that somebody could send things? Let's put a call to action out there.
Sure.
Let's see if we can get, domestic violence is a very real thing. It affects so many hundreds of women and children, and even men. They're definitely not excluded from that. They do need a beacon of hope. So how can people do more for this cause?
Yeah, so not just my cause, but the cause within their own communities. They need to find out where these shelters are, or people that are working for the shelters. There's shelter outreaches, so they can contact their local Rotary clubs, maybe they'll know. The shelters themselves, there's gotta be a major organization that then filters each individual shelter. So even just a little research online to find out, who to contact or who to send either items to or monetary donations. It's not just my local area that needs it, it's every area. Yep. So if it's our local area, it's the family of Woodstock as the major organization, and then it trickles down. So my business page, I also post when calls to actions are necessary on Facebook, and then they can contact me through Messenger if they wanted to do something. And it could be as simple as, sending, poppets are huge right now for the kiddos.
What is it?
They're like those, bubble wrap.
Yeah.
Well, it's like those silicone bubble wrap in a way.
Yep, I got one for my daughter.
Even sending, if you wanted to send little trinkets, things like that, or even sending new pillows, like even fresh pillows, socks, things like that. Those are really important. Because when people arrive, they will need to strip down, right? Get clean clothes, and sometimes they do arrive with absolutely nothing, right? So to have, the necessities is so important.
Yeah, I think often people have to flee in the middle of the night and just take their kids and go.
Yeah.
Something else that I think is really important for people to know, I think that there's a lot of victims of domestic violence out there, and there's probably a lot of people who have gotten out of that situation, and they don't really talk about it. It's a very, very difficult thing to talk about if it's especially deep in your past. So the stigma that I think surrounds it needs to go away, and I guarantee you somebody that has been a victim of domestic violence. You probably just don't know it, and they'll never talk about it.
That's true, and I feel very strongly too that women or men who go through it, even if they don't feel that they have to share their story, even healing in their own way of doing things that will feed that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That, whatever they're going through, that will help heal them. It doesn't always have to be publicly, given to really share and then heal from it.
No, but, it's definitely, a very widespread thing. So, thank you again for coming. We really appreciate it. Also, the Moxxi Women's Foundation is going to be putting together some Ipsy bags. I've been collecting Ipsy bags for a very, very long time. We're going to get those stuffed with some necessary items. So if you have some things that you'd like to donate, we're talking about sanitary items, maybe some tea, some lip balms, anything that'll fit in those little Ipsy bags. Feel free to send them to the Moxxi Women's Foundation, 1105 Route 32, Stillwater, New York, 12170. You can call 518-226-5982 or reach out to Moxxi, Moxxi, womensfoundation.com. And we're going to try to get those out the first week of December. Thank you so much.